Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon and by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. And as always, thank you for all your support, including sharing, chatting, liking, and subscribing. Now roll that famous logo animation! Good evening and welcome back to Computerized Start Live! I am your host, Justin D. Morgan, and OBS just gave me the weirdest of error messages. It makes me wonder if I have had something go wrong on this computer. It told me, encoding is overloaded. Try different presets. And I noticed that the famous logo animation was glitchy. So, don't know what's going on. Should be using Invink for encoding. Something tells me it might have switched to CPU without me knowing, but oh well, I don't know what I'm going to do, because we are live, and you will see that I have a mess on my bench, and I cannot find my plastic sandwich bags. Do not know where they've gone. I may actually have to go run upstairs and grab sandwich bags from upstairs, because I don't know where the ones that are down. Dinosaur ate the ones that were down here. He got hungry. He wanted a sandwich, and, well, he saw the word sandwich, and he ate them. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it. All right, let's see here who we have in the chat. We have SadMac356. Hi, SadMac. We have Jack68K. Hi, Jack. We have I803D6SX. Hi, Jesse. We have Mike's Future Retro. Hi, Mike. Yes, it is a rare Monday stream. Although, for the month of May, it will not be so rare. I'll get to that momentarily. Let's see. I'm homesick as a dog. Went to VCF East. I think that is where my upper respiratory infection originated. We left for a Florida vacation on Sunday. Ooh. Hope you get better, Mike. Oh, let's see here. Directly after lunch at VCF East might have been mold spores floating around one of those buildings. Consignment room, but by Friday I was sneezing and coughing relentlessly. Oof. We have D. Dopaz. Hi, Dopaz. We have, let's see here, Mike's Future Retro is going to be at VCF Southeast for the co-show with the Southern Fried Gaming Expo. Yes, Mike says, luckily my soon-to-be wife ran to CVS and Stop and Shop and loaded me up on meds and soup. All right, well, there's a good way to get on the mend. Yes, I started the stream. I was a bit late. Some nights it's harder to get motivated than others. We have Retro Tech Chris. Hi, Chris is lurking, working, and listening. All right, and we have Dave's Vintage Apple Tech. Hi, Dave. We have Jesse says, wing it. That's the best we can do sometimes. Yes, we are going to wing it. Computer will be on the bench at some point, but we first have to put away the Toshiba, because I didn't get to that this weekend. Yes, Retro Tech Chris will be at Southeast this year. We have Thomas Armstrong. Hi, Thomas. Let's see here, and I think I've caught up in the chat. All right, I have the Coffee Go. Link is in the description. Looks like I also forgot to change the Coffee Go. I was thinking I'd be able to go to the swap meet this weekend until real life happened, and I got reminded of other things I am supposed to do this weekend. So I will actually not be at the swap meet this weekend, so that I can do things that I'm supposed to do here in town. I did remember to order low melt solder, so that came downstairs. Jack says, I know the feeling of other things I have to do this weekend. Yes. We'll just say that there's no better time to learn that you have plans the next weekend than to have a previous weekend. So, yes, so I won't be at the swap meet this weekend. Most likely, I have not figured out a way to do the things that were on my calendar, but not on my calendar. As in, I forgot to put them on the calendar. And also get to north of, I guess, north of Baltimore. So yeah, Jack says completely free weekends are so few and far between. Yes, so yeah, I'm gonna have to take care of the things around here and virtual. So yeah, Mike says swap meet is just too close to my finished vacation. Can't get the time off. Yeah. He says if my personal issues are resolved by July, I might consider VCF SE. Oh, I forgot to turn on my streaming metrics. There we go. Ah, all right. Let's see here. Yeah, oh, the VCF East swap meet in the parking lot on May 30th. Wow, that is so soon after VCF East. Yeah, we'll have to see if maybe I instead try to swing to the ooh. If there's a swap meet on May 30th, that might be tight because that'll be like the first whole weekend I've had back from the beach. We'll have to see about that one. I might. We'll see. All right, let's see here. Oh, and before I get to cleaning off the workbench, which I'm not kidding, there is still a Toshiba on this workbench. Toshiba is not computer, but I did manage to locate this box here, which I guess during my last stream, I was wondering where in the basement I creatively put it so that I could not find it. The answer was it was not in the basement, which is why when I was looking around for it and gave up, I didn't see it because I left it. It was at the top of the stairs in a creative spot, not in the basement in a creative spot. So yes, Gutbomb says, or the artist formerly known as Gutbomb says that I recognize that box. Yes. So Jason says I recognize that box. Jack says maybe there's a 6502 in that box. Jack says because it's a VIC 20. Let's see what's in the box. Also, I have no potential regrets from eBay tonight because I only just today bought something on eBay. The previous purchases all arrived before VCF East. Y'all probably should make note of the fact that I was able to go so long without buying anything on eBay so that I didn't have anything show up while I was at VCF East, unlike what happened last year, and I ordered something for VCF East to take with me, and it was supposed to be delivered in time, and it showed up like the day I had to leave. So I'd have my neighbor go set it inside. Yes. Also, also the person whose eBay store I bought things from is in the chat. And Kevin Jason says, "Enjoy the pink foam." Mike says, "I have a regret. Bought a dead Apple CRT monitor at East." Oof. I know the pain. I've got. I have an Apple monitor that I have yet to repair, and I should try to get back to it, but it's an Apple IIe composite monitor, so it's not like the greatest of monitors, but Jesse says, I bought a compact portable 3D. That was my big purchase. It does work, but I can't give it all the care it needs yet. All right, and we have, yes, an LC475 parts board. Ooh, look at this. We have valuable parts on this, including the chip that I think might be bad on one of my LC475s. And it looks like we got probably 2 good candidate serial chips there. And even one of the ASICs. So thank you, Jason, for sending this along. When I get back to the 475s, this will probably come in handy. So there we go. Another, Jack says, lol, another LC475 board. Yeah, this one's not going to chime. I have it on good authority. Oh, that's okay, Mike. I saw you while I was actually waiting to talk with Thomas of Amiga of Rochester. And, yeah, he was so busy, I ended up actually not getting a chance to talk with him. But yeah, I understand you had dinner plans. Totally fine. Well, I'll catch you another time. Yeah, yeah, he's a character. I wanted to talk with him about something I wanted to buy on his web store, but yeah, he was so busy recapping boards, I didn't get a chance to talk with him, so I'll just have to probably order them from someone's web store. Anyways, let's see here. I guess the first order of business is to get the Toshiba off the workbench. I did, I guess to spoil it, the things I ordered for today on eBay, the place where I buy the things I later regret, because Jesse's web store had only one in stock of one of these 2 batteries replacements, I ordered batteries for my Toshiba, so so I'll at least be able to put the CMOS and the standby batteries back in it. Even if I don't have a main battery pack, at least I'll have these batteries. Haven't been able to order a belt, though. Console 5 doesn't have any belts in stock, but I was actually wondering if if there was a Gotek that might fit this. Because this looks like it might just be a standard slim floppy drive. But I can't tell. I can't tell if that's a standard, like, 34-pin ribbon cable or not. Capcom says I can model a Gotek mount. Which one do I need more of? Oh, I only needed the one you had in stock, Jesse. So I ordered what I needed. I didn't need more than one. I only have the one Toshiba laptop, but one of the 2 batteries, eBay was telling me you had one in stock, so I wanted to order it before someone else got the chance to, because eBay was also telling me that someone else had them in their cart, which, quite honestly, part of me wants to believe eBay's telling me the truth, and part of me thinks that eBay knows my weakness and thus tells me someone else, or more than one someone else, has it in their cart to make me buy it. Prove me wrong. Give me some detailed measurements and photos of that thing. Sometimes I can make you a model. I think the first step I'll do, Jason, is I will see if this ribbon cable happens to match the. There is a Gotek that has the ribbon interface on it. I'll have to check that first. This says my great deal of the week happened at the hockey equipment swap meet. Oh yeah, That's a good place to get good deals because hockey is expensive. Actually, yeah, insert name of sport is expensive. In fact, I'm sure pickleball even can be expensive. Prove me wrong. Oh, okay. That's cool, Jesse. Hey, we have Rudy's Retro Intel. Hi, Rudy. Yep, I am. So, for those of you just joining, I am attempting to see if I can spot a bag to put the screw. Actually, preferably a couple bags to put the screws for this Toshiba in because what you can't see because it's off frame is I have the screws in a couple of piles based on where they were in the laptop. And quite honestly, it probably will do just the same good to put them all in one bag as it will to try to separate them because it's not like I'm going to remember which bag went where. But the important thing is I need a bag that does not have a hole in it, which is why I'm trying to spot where I set the bag, the Ziploc sandwich bags at, because it is a box of new bags that should not have holes in them. So, um, is that a 2C? Uh, no, it's a Toshiba laptop. It's what I worked on last week. It was still on my bench. I gotta clean my bench off so we can pull the computer on it. And I was already running late enough, so I started the stream without trying to find my bags, and now we're back to me trying to find the box of bags that I know is here somewhere, because I really don't want to have to go upstairs to steal a bag or two. Alright, hold please while I know I have them down here. Oh, alright, I guess I'm gonna have to. Okay, maybe I did run out of sandwich bags. Alright, well, I hope you get to feeling better, Mike. Oh, alright, here's what I'm going to do. Alright, I did find that I have a Ziploc bag here that had a mouse in it, or a trackball, to be more precise. It does not look like there are any holes in it, because the last thing I want to do is lose specialty sized screws. Hi, uh, Jean-Francois Paré, welcome. Alright, so let me get these screws picked up. Last thing I want to do is lose one of them, because I remember from disassembling this Toshiba laptop that there were... Alright, number of screws I've dropped on the floor. Alright, the count is 1. I just managed to drop a screw on the floor. Because apparently I cannot talk and put screws in a bag at the same time. I have no idea where it went. Uh, if I'm lucky, it only hit my it fell in my pant cuff. That would be if I'm lucky, because I felt it hit my leg, but I did not hear it hit the floor. That's the weird thing. Well, that that is going to be a future me problem, probably. Yep. All right. Well, I guess I'll probably will end up having to find a few extra screws when I do eventually put this back together, because I have no idea where the one that fell on the floor bounced to. It is lost. Probably went to the same place that other things you lose in the house go, such as the uh, the sock that somehow doesn't make it out of the dryer, etc., etc., etc. All right. I'm going to put the plastic pieces and metal pieces in this bag as well, since they are the correct size. I am going to not scream at the very large spider that decided to come out of hiding out of my screwdriver set. I have no idea what kind of spider it is, but um, for those of you that are thinking that I am making something up, there actually is a spider on my workbench. And yeah, he's right there. Um, if you're an arachnophobe, turn away, because oh, he ran off. That's really nice. Um, yeah, I think now we are. I am going to half joke that it is time to end the stream so that I can fumigate the basement, because the last thing I want is for a spider to jump out from underneath something at me. But I am half joking. Um, Spider, you have been warned. I spill isopropyl alcohol all the time, and I have no idea where it went. But yeah, it was seriously hiding in my tool thing, and well, it does not know the mortal danger that it has put itself in being on my workbench. Oh, actually, it's still right here on the workbench. Yeah, I see where it is. All right, we are going to I have these nice little condiment things that will make a great little spider trapping device so that I can put it outside, because the spider should be living outside, not inside, because inside spider, I will just find it at some point as a large spider husk, because spiders don't like it inside. Um, large spiders also scare off live stream viewers. So yeah, I'm going to catch it and then put it outside. How's that? Yeah, he's right here. So let's see here. Oh no, you're going where I want you to go. Oh, there we go. There, I caught him. Now, of course, the problem is I now have to put the lid on it. Somehow. Um, yeah, this is like a Mutual of Omaha. Yeah. I have caught a wild spider. I have no idea what kind it is yet. Um, I don't think he likes being friends with the old capacitors I've clipped off of boards. Trying to find a piece of paper here. To slip underneath everything. Because, yeah, I want Spider outside. Spider wants to go outside. I can tell it. He's an outside spider. Yes, Mutual of Not Omaha has been brought to you by Eli's Software Encyclopedia, selling the finest boxed software that does not contain spiders since insert year here. Yeah. There we go. There we go. I caught it. The spider will no longer be a menace, and he's got some capacitor friends. Sorry, spider. You gave me no choice. You crawled beside the capacitors, and now they have to be your friend. I'll I'll set you outside somehow, and I have no idea what kind of spider it is. All right. Yeah, there we go. Jack says, he's probably like, ew, what is this place? Yeah. So now, um, I think it's probably just like a jumping spider or a wolf spider or yeah, I don't think he likes being in the little terrarium. But yeah, there we go. He's safely in there. Thomas Armstrong says not a Australian spider. Yes, he's not an Australian spider. That is for sure. All right, I will let him outside at a convenient point so that he can eat bugs that I don't want around. But yeah, spiders beware. You should not hang around my workbench because I will find you and I will capture you and I will give you fishy capacitor friends. Um, and then I will put you outside where you belong. And then you'll probably still come back in the house, but whatever. I tried. Sadmax says the capacitor friends, lol. Yeah. That was just a side effect of where he decided to crawl to on the workbench. I would have tried to not give him some capacitor friends, but he gave me no choice. That's where he crawled. Jesse says, enjoy the capacitors of your forefathers, spiders. Yeah. All right, so now that I have caught the big, large, scary spider that wanted to harass me because it was hiding in my tools, um, Jack says, just don't forget he's in there when you need to discard some more capacitors. Yeah, actually, when I go to get computer is near the door to outside. I will put him outside at that time. Hopefully without littering my yard with capacitors, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know what kind of spider he is. He's got what looks like a smiley face on his abdomen. Oh, I bet I can look that up. I bet if I search the web for what kind of spider has a smiley face on its abdomen, I bet it will tell me that it's a certain spider. Spider with smiley face on back. What do you know? That is not a Hawaiian happy face spider. No. Um no, that is not the right spider. Um yeah, it is not Hawaiian happy face spider. All right, this episode of Mutual of Not Omaha. Um, we're only as good as the search engines give us the answers. Um, all right, let me add a few more details. Oh, here we go. Maybe I found a page that'll. No, that's not it. Huh? I have no idea what kind of spider it is. Yeah. Not a Hawaiian spider. Sometimes. Interesting. I don't know what kind of spider it is, and my web search, disappointingly, is not helping me. Oh well, this is a computer live stream, not a spider live stream, so it is a spider that its front legs are longer than its back legs, which kind of seemingly should be a clue as to what kind of spider it is. Nope. AI is failing me again. It's now trying to tell me that that is a granddaddy longleg spider. No, it is not. Nope, it is not a cellar spider. Oh, here we go. This might help. I don't think it's a brown recluse. No, it's not a brown recluse. Not a cellar spider. Not that. Um, no, no, not a tarantula. No, I found a new kind of spider. Oh well. I'm going to let it go outside. I'm sure it's not a new spider. I've probably seen it before. Of course, the internet is going to fail you when you would like to identify the spider. I know it's not a black widow, not a brown widow, not a brown recluse. Kind of looks like a wolf spider, maybe. Hobo spider? No, I don't know that that's it. Oh, it could be a. No, I don't think it's a jumping spider. Nope, nope, nope. I give up. I don't know what kind of spider it is. It's going to be an outside spider. Thomas is asking, do you have black widows there? Do not play with spiders. Yeah, we do have black widows. I have seen black widows. This spider is not a black widow spider. That I can tell you, it is not a black widow. I have seen enough of them that I can identify them quickly. Well, maybe if it'll cooperate. All right. Arachnophobia warning. I'm going to see if I can get you a camera view of it. So if you don't like spiders, turn away. I'm going to get a quick view of it. So maybe if anyone's good at identifying spiders, um, but there's our spider buddy. Oh, and that does not look like a smiley face. Oh, I have a feeling that's just like a wolf spider or something. The front legs are longer than the black legs. Yeah, don't know what it is. Belongs outside. It's probably a wolf spider. That's probably what it is. It's probably a wolf spider. Anyways, there we go. If we got any biologists out there that might be able to identify it, I think it's probably just like a wolf spider or something. It'll thrive outside. It will become a dried spider husk inside. Ah, yeah, it's not a brown recluse. Yes. Hi, Kevin. Welcome. Yep, that was the spider that decided to harass me from under my tool thing. Sadmax says leaves room temporarily. Yeah. Okay, we're back. The spider's going outside. Hi, Frogman Mining. Welcome. Yeah, Thomas says we get recluse spider come up on the rail cars and black widows. Yeah, it's a wolf spider or a jumping spider, but it's an outside spider and it's going outside here momentarily. So I am going to go take this Toshiba laptop, which is apart right now. I left it on the workbench for me to deal with later, and now later is now. So I'm going to take it to set these parts somewhere where they can just hang out until I get parts to fix it. The one thing that I still need to try to find is a belt for the floppy drive, or see if the ribbon cable GoTech variant has the same pinout as this floppy drive, and then maybe get a GoTech adapter modeled, because the floppy drive's belts. The floppy drive's belt is goo. And I will let our spider friend outside, where our spider friend will thrive for the rest of his days, and hopefully will not make the mistake of coming inside, because that would be a mistake for spider friend to come inside. Because he might dry up, and I wouldn't want that, because there's plenty of bugs outside for him to eat. All right. And now we have part of computer. And I just realized I need my Windex. Oh, please. Huh. All right. Um. Oh, wait a minute. There's the Windex. It's on my workbench, where I don't normally keep it. Why is there packing tape on it? You would have to ask the seller why they used packing tape on computer. I'm presuming they did it to keep the lid on. But that's the first thing we have to do. We need to get the packing tape off the lid. Because, hi, Callan, welcome. Yeah, I don't want to put this together until I have the packing tape off. So that does mean... Oh, Jack says, I must have forgotten since we always see computer with its lid off. Yes. Well, computer needs lid on. So, unfortunately, we are going to have to get rid of this custom badging here. But that is where today's not really video sponsor comes in. My wallet. My wallet buys a lot of the things that I buy. You see where this is going. My wallet is saying, I need to buy stickers to put here. Actually, no, my wallet's probably saying, help, you buy too much stuff on eBay, help. But anyways, as in literally my wallet. It's not like some .com service or anything you can buy. I mean, you could buy your own wallet and then it'll be your wallet, but yeah, my wallet buys a lot of the things I buy. In fact, probably buys everything. Bob says that machine is begging for a plain label maker label that says computer. Callan says my wallet says the same. Yeah. Jack says I can't tell. Is there a recessed area in the case for an emblem? Yes, there is. And Jack says, "Lol." I actually was thinking of having some stickers made that would fit this cutout here. I do have to figure out how you determine the radius of the curve for the label. But I was kind of wanting to make a replacement badge, assuming I don't remove these stickers and find that there is something under them. I can't tell. Because there is, like, there does feel like there might be something under it, but I can't tell what it is. It could just be old adhesive. But honestly, Jason's suggestion of just a label maker label that says computer could be quite spot on brand. Yeah, Jesse says to keep it packed, probably. Because the thing is, this lid, there's no, unlike an actual Apple II, there's no Velcro to keep the lid closed. There's the two notches on the back that those slide into. And that's the only thing that really keeps the lid closed. But if you slide it forward slightly, then, I mean, the lid's off. That's probably why they put it there. Hi, Joseph Norris. Welcome. Joseph says, it's hard to believe that what was new in my 20s is now retro in my 50s, and when this stuff was new, it was amazing. Jack says, I think there's a Dell logo under there. Thomas says, get one of those 3D printer people to make one for you. All right, so I am about to do what I've been fearing, because the sparkle stickers are epic, but the packing tape has to go. And the packing tape is actually not adhering very well, so... All right. 3, 2, 1. Okay, that usually never happens. This... I was for sure those stickers were going to come off with the packing tape. Okay. Yeah, Jack says, lol, there's actually adhesive on those stickers. I know, they are stuck, but... Callan says, dude, you're getting a Dell. I know, and now I really want to remove the stickers, because now that packing tape is off of it, there really feels like there's something under here. Joseph says, time for duct tape. Duct tape always works. Yeah, there was some duct tape here, it looks like, at some point. I'm hoping this comes off. IPA under the edge, yeah. I am still going to remove these stickers, because now, more than ever, now that there's not packing tape here, it feels like there could be something under here. And I am really curious. Oh, wow. Hardware Hacker's asking, are you just in time? Yes, you are. Are we about to discover part of the brand of this computer? Or will this ultimately end in sadness? All right, I'm gonna... Ultimately... Well, interestingly enough, these stickers are peeling up. So they are still intact. These two at least came off cleanly. So I guess I could put adhesive under them again. All right, now I wonder if there's enough of the original brand label under here to maybe tell what this actually was. Let the WD-40 soak into the white stickers after first attempt. All right, I am going to try to peel this sticker up. I really don't know if there's enough of the original label here to tell what brand it might have been. Because it's an Apple 2.5. Yeah. Whoa. Oh, Harder Hacker says, oh, none of the interviews were usable. Oh, bummer. So Thomas Armstrong says a MyTech Apple. Harder Hacker says it's an Apple 11.5. Yeah, I know. That is definitely name of font here. But whatever the font is for that Apple used. So that definitely looks like that said APPLE in. Hold on. Hold, please. I'm going to look up the name of the font. It is Mater Tectora. Jack says, sadly, the word computer is missing. Yes, this is Mater Tectora. Now, wait a minute. Okay, so I think this said Apple. There's a very good chance there might have been a picture of a fruit here, but maybe not. Maybe they weren't going for full blatant copyright trademark infringement. But that definitely does, yes, Kevin, that does look like it says personal. Personal. And do my eyes deceive me, or does that look like the top of another letter right there? We're gonna grab the microscope. Thomas Armstrong says apple pineapple. I don't know that there's enough room for it to have said pineapple. Given that the A would have started here. I don't think there was enough room for it to say pineapple. Personal. There's the L. Wait a minute. I think there's another word there. What's on the back of the other stickers? All right. Let's take a look. All right. So here's the sticker that was on the left. So that was the sticker on the left, I believe. It looks like on the back of it, if I can zoom in, it is kind of reflective. It looks like there's only some, like, paper fibers. I think those circles are... I don't think there's any text showing on the back of them. I think those are just paper fibers. I don't think there's enough there to say that there was any letters. I have a feeling these stickers got put there because the original label got ripped. Jack says, I wonder, what could it be? What could it be? Okay, so this one was in the middle. And I definitely see... All right, so we're looking at this backwards. So I can definitely see... I'm going to zoom out a little. I don't know how well this will focus zoomed out. But on this one, you can definitely see... I think that's the right side of the A. And then I think you can see two of the P's. So that's one of the P's right there. Because there's the descender. I'll show you this on camcorder view. It's a little easier to see. And then there's the other P. And there's some of the lettering of personal. And then you can see the L. So yeah, first sticker, there's no text remains on it. I think the sticker ripped before it got stuck down. Thomas Armstrong says pineapple used a fruit logo. Well, if it would have said pineapple in full, there's not enough room on the label to have had pineapple there. And then this one, there's no text remains on it either. So we'll go to full screen here. So anyways, this was the sticker that was on the right. Here's the sticker that was on the left. And then this is the sticker that was on the middle. And it's the only one that you can see it transferred some of the ink onto the back of it. Yeah, I know. It would have been pretty gutsy to put Apple on it. That's for sure. You got that right, Callan. Gutbomb says, made to look, quote, legit. Yeah. But the thing is, the A being right here, I don't think there's enough room for there to be a PIN in this same size font here. Now, could there have been a picture of a pineapple? Sure. But I have a feeling this said Apple Personal Computer. Yeah, Big Apple logo over on the left, Gutbomb says. I think this one, looking at this, I think this was made to just... I have a feeling it said Apple Personal Computer, and it may have had an Apple logo on it over on the left. Because there's where the E would have been. You can kind of see the side of it. And I have a feeling there was nothing over here. And it said Personal Computer. And I think it was just a sticker. And I have a feeling someone put those stickers over top because the sticker had worn away. But yeah, I think that's what this said. It was Apple Personal Computer. In fact, I should probably take a photo of this with my cell phone and Mystery solved. Yeah, there we go. I'll take a picture of. There we go. So I guess now I got some photos for documentary purposes. So I have a feeling this one was one of the more blatant copy attempts. Apple personal computer. No mincing of words. Possibly an Apple logo over here. There would have probably been enough room. Probably nothing here. It looks like the color may have been very close to what Apple's badges looked like. Obviously, Apple didn't put personal computer on theirs, but well, I guess they wanted people to make sure they knew it was a personal computer. So there we go, mystery solved. I guess it's good that I kind of felt that there was something under here. Unfortunately, though, this is in bad enough shape that I'm just going to clean it off. Does make me now. All right. So I know there's probably a question. Someone's probably thinking, why don't I just put an Apple, like an Apple badge here? Since the original was trying to copy Apple, why don't I just put an Apple badge there? And that would actually be a good suggestion. It certainly would be going for what they were trying to do. However, I think as I previously figured out, this here is too small for an authentic Apple badge. Gutbomb says you have to keep it ghetto authentic, though. Yeah. You cannot. The Apple badges are larger than this. So yeah, I can't just slap an Apple II Plus badge on this and call it done, because the badge actually won't fit in the recess. I have a sticker box here somewhere. I am trying to find my box of stickers. It is down here somewhere. It is probably, if the box of stickers knew what was best for it, it's probably not floating around my workbench. It would be. I usually like to try to keep it like not on the workbench so that I don't keep knocking it off and risk the box falling open and stickers going everywhere. No, I think those are capacitors. If I find it, I have the word stickers written on it, so I'll know what it is. Jesse says you'll summon Steve Jobs from the dead if you put an actual Apple sticker on it. Yeah, we won't put an actual Apple sticker on it. All right, so let's see if we can't clean the case up. I know. The good thing is some of the dirt on the case is no match for Windex. You thought Windex was just for Windows. Oh yeah, this sticker is. All right, I'm glad we were able to figure out the mystery of what the label likely looked like. But now I'm going to prepare the case to. If Jack says, I think you're going to need Gugon or WD-40 for those stickers. Probably. And you all probably know my feelings about WD-40. Um, and apparently the Gugon has left the chat somewhere. My Gugon always. Yeah, I don't like the smell of it, and it just makes a mess. All right, I guess I am probably going to have to use WD-40. I'm sorry. Everyone thinks WD-40 is this magical fix for everything, but it's just water displacer number 40. The Gugon is hiding with the Gotek. Yeah, that is probably a very accurate statement. Actually, I probably actually the Gugon is. I might have taken it upstairs. Um. Oh, that is an interesting sticker. Hardware hacker. Unfortunately, their product page does not give a dimensions. I will have to ask them if they have dimensions for the label. Thomas Armstrong says IPA works better on glues. Yep. Oh, Harder Hacker says I really just wanted to show it to you. Okay. Unfortunately, without dimensions, I might contact them and ask what the dimensions are. Because the thing is, if they've sized it for the actual Apple sized badges, it won't fit this case. But it's also possible they sized it for clone case badge cutouts, which means it might actually fit the case. It is a cool badge. It's not what I was going to make, but it would probably be cheaper to buy one of those than me to try to iterate on a design. Oh, I'm not. Oh, maybe it is sized for a clone case, but I can't tell what. Sorry, I'm not. At least Facebook is allowing me to see the post without signing in. Yeah, that label might actually fit. I might have to reach out to them. Hardware Hacker says it kind of looks too narrow, though, somehow. I'll reach out to that web store and ask them what the dimensions are. In fact, if I can find my metric tape measure, which I see where it is, I'll measure the size of this cutout. Thing is, I was going to make some stickers that said computer 2, But I was actually kind of afraid that in order to make it fit in this opening, because it's kind of shorter than apples. I think it's shorter and narrower and shorter. I was afraid that the font was going to have to be shrunk down to a point where it would look. I actually have something designed for computer. I don't have it in a format I could have stickers printed from, because I'd have to figure out how to measure the radius of a rectangle corner. I don't know how to do that. But I actually have a design in mind. And in fact, if I had them printed, I'd have to print a minimum quantity, and I was thinking of selling the extras in, I guess, on my coffee shop. For anyone else that had a clone, or maybe just wanted a commemorative computer badge sticker. I was just going to have them printed as vinyl stickers. I wasn't going to do anything like fancy. I would like to have some custom case badges made. But that's kind of expensive. But possibly worth it. All right, let's get that last little adhesive off, and then we'll um let me see if I've got the thumbnail for this live stream. This computer likes to sign out of OneDrive. Oh. Oh, looks like it might actually be signed in. Let's see here. PNG. Ah, all right. It is signed into OneDrive. Excellent. That is also the wrong. That was the wrong. There we go. That's the right one. So, if you were looking at the thumbnail, you might notice that I have this graphic here that I created at some point for my computer live streams. That was actually what I was going to turn into a clone case badge shaped sticker. My computer 2 graphic. Carter Hacker says, I believe the dimensions for that blank is 14 millimeters by 59 millimeters. Oh, I have a metric tape measure. And it is so it is about 32 millimeters or 33 millimeters. 32 or 33 millimeters. Yeah, it's probably what I'll have to do, Jack. Yeah, just printing appropriately sized rectangles with various corner radiuses and pick the best match. Yep, probably it. So it's about 33 millimeters by like 99 millimeters. Yeah, I think it's 33 millimeters by 99 millimeters with a corner radius. I think the reason it looks weird and narrow is because I think the Apple II case badge was a little bit taller and um, wider. I don't think it was like a 3-to-1 rectangle ratio. I think it's more rectangular than this. Yeah, Mac Effects has badges, but they don't fit this opening. Yeah, they don't fit this opening. That's why I was trying to find my sticker box. I actually have a couple of the Apple II Plus badges, and they do not fit the opening. I was going to show you that I was going to demonstrate that they don't fit. But I can't find my sticker box. I've got at least one of the badges in it. All right. Well, we got that adhesive gone. Let's. I think this packing tape is more or less peeling off without leaving much residue. Yeah, I would have thought the clone manufacturers would have maybe made their badge the same size as Apple's, but they didn't. All right, I know it looks like paint came off with this tape, but I think that's just adhesive because I'm pretty sure this is non-painted plastic. All right, the next thing I want to try to get off of here is this, whatever this is, and it's probably going to need it's probably going to need WD-40. I don't know what kind of plastic it is, but we'll just say I'm not going to try to put acetone on it because I don't know what kind of plastic it is. It probably is ABS, but it's not painted. I don't think this case is painted. I think it's molded in the color plastic. Apple painted their cases, and I don't think this is painted. All right, I'm going to see if WD-40 will loosen whatever this is. Yeah, we don't want to find out if it is ABS, so no acetone will be used in the cleaning of this case. So I'm okay. So this is just some WD-40. I'm gonna let this sit here for a few minutes. I may have to. I may have to reapply more. Yeah, Apple II cases are painted. They're textured and painted. Yeah, Apple II and Apple II Plus cases are painted. I don't know if I think by the Apple IIe cases might actually be molded. I don't know if Apple was still painting them that late. They might have been though. I know Apple IIc cases were molded. But yeah, the first of the Apple II cases, they were painted. That's why they often don't yellow in the same way as a plastic case. Yeah, the Platinum 2E was not painted. I don't know about the earlier 2E. I would have to probably go look at mine carefully. But yeah, the Apple II and Apple II Plus were painted. That's why they don't yellow. The paint will yellow with age, but not the same way as a plastic case would. There's also a better chance that if you've got one of those cases and there's surface contamination, that if you clean it up carefully, the paint may be okay. But it's also why if the paint did yellow due to environmental conditions, you'd probably have to repaint it. Retrobrighting won't fix the problem because it's paint. All right, WD-40 is taking whatever this is off. I think it's just going to take a couple rounds of it. All right. I mean, I did warn in the description that this was going to be a stream to clean the case so I could put it back together, so... Yeah, Jesse says lousy environment. Thomas Armstrong says I knew all the TRS-80 stuff is painted. That was the Intel Inside sticker. Oh, Jack says, Thomas Armstrong and early IBM. Yeah. I mean, all computer cases that have the metal tops are always painted. Or powder coated. Anyways, yeah, now you know. But yeah, I think this, as far as I can tell, is molded plastic. So I'm hoping that if I can get the adhesive, if I can get this adhesive off, I'm not sure what this was. I'm wondering if this might have been an asset tag or something. As weird as that sounds to put an asset tag on a clone. I mean, what's to say that a school system didn't own this at one point and or a business or I mean, sure, school systems could have gotten special pricing from Apple, but maybe they got even better pricing from Bob's Computer Shack. Main Street, Anytown, USA. Just look for the van. The van that says cheap computers today, gone tomorrow. Jack says, were there mail order catalogs that had these clones? I believe the answer probably was yes. In that they probably very carefully advertised them, and there's no guarantee how long the company would be there to take orders. Jason says they use those blue plastic scraper prying tools that come with iFixit kits in tandem with alcohol to remove stubborn sticker residue. The plastic is soft so it doesn't scratch the plastic, but it pushes the residue around and makes it easier to remove. Well, it seems to be coming off good enough. And I don't have an iFixit kit with those plastic things. I only have my iFixit kit didn't come with any of them. Yep. Hi, Soccer Wrench. Yeah, I'm using WD-40 as much as I can't stand the stuff. Jesse says drive back computers. Gutbum says the back page is a byte and compute. Yep. This plastic does have a texture to it. As far as I can tell, the paper towel is not affecting the texture, so I don't have any plastics. Um, yeah, the bottom of the case is metal. I mean, I there might have been a guitar pick in this clone case, but I don't know where the guitar pick went because I keep like making things fall on the ground. Just I do not want to scratch this case. Which is why although maybe that's going to help. Yeah, there's probably some packing tape on the bottom of the case too to clean up, but it should be fairly easy. I think most of the packing tape residue was on the plastic. Yep. Tomorrow's the day I have written on my calendar to tell Adobe that I'm going to cancel my Creative Cloud subscription. They will have to call my bluff. Although at the moment I'm kind of feeling extra spicy about Premiere Pro, and there's a chance I might just do it. Not even accept their retention offer. So I've got this new to me MacBook Air M1, and Premiere Pro crashes when you launch it every time, unless you hold down the key to bring up a special menu to like reset certain things on launch. If I do that and then tell it to disable plugins for one launch, then it will actually start. But beats me which plugin is causing the problem because I don't think there's any installed. And of course, it would be too easy for Adobe to have included like a list somewhere of all the installed plugins and where they're installed to, because apparently Premiere Pro plugins. Oh, I got that encoder overloaded error again. Wonderful. Because of course it'd be too easy for Adobe to have included a like control panel or something that tells you what plugins it sees and where they're installed. Of course. But I shouldn't have to hold the command key down and disable plugins every single time I want to launch Premiere Pro. And so I'm feeling extra spicy about it right now. I don't know what it's about either, but I'm half tempted here after spraying some more WD-40 to go to settings and make sure the encoder's set the way I think it should be. All right. Because I can see what the setting is. Okay, YouTube RTMPS backup ingest server. All right, that's what I thought it was set at. Video encoder, hardware NVENC H2.64. Encoder preset P5, slow, good quality. Yeah, all right, that's exactly what it's been set at. Weird. Yeah, just OBS gave me that warning again. I don't know what it's about. I'm gonna bring up Task Manager. Let's see here. Wait, I thought it had a GPU column. Oh, it does. Okay, I'm using 32% of the GPU. 40%. Actually, is there an option to just show the peak? I don't know. Maybe I need to update my NVIDIA drivers. Maybe that's... Alright, I'll check for updated NVIDIA drivers at some point. Yeah, no, it hasn't dropped any frames, but I am getting a warning from OBS that the encoder is overloaded. The important thing is I am set to NVENC exactly like I thought it was. Maybe maybe I should adjust the encoder and maybe pick a faster setting like it's telling me, but you can't change that while you're live, so maybe I will try a faster encoder setting. Maybe the warning has something to do with the fact that it's maybe OBS knows what I set the YouTube latency to, and maybe it's just a warning. Maybe it's not dropping any frames, but it's not getting them sent out on the network as fast as it would like for my for the latency setting I have in YouTube. I don't know. think I might have installed an OBS update last week out of fine, I'll let you update. Tired of you asking me. Desperation. Well, I got that label mostly off there. There's still some adhesive residue. I might have to... Yeah, there's still some adhesive residue here, but largely that label's off of there. Alright. Oh, I found my Goo Gone. Alright, let me... Before I try some Goo Gone on that adhesive, let me... Windex to... Oh, I probably should zoom out, but... We're focused on this adhesive here. I'm gonna use some Windex to kind of try to clean the WD-40 off so I can see exactly what we're dealing with. All right. Okay. So, there we go. There's still some adhesive residue here. I can't seem to get off with WD-40, so let me try some Goo Gone or Goof Off or whatever this stuff is. It's the one that's safe for plastic. Goo Gone. Yeah, it's Goo Gone. Goo and adhesive remover. Surface safe. Not for use on silk, leather, suede, rubber, faux stainless steel, unpainted drywall, unfinished wood surfaces, and unsealed stone. All right. So there we go. We'll spray some of that there. We'll let it... Yeah, apply Goo Gone to mess. Allow a few minutes for Goo Gone to begin working. Wipe with a clean white cloth. Clean area with soap and water. All right. Made in the USA. Trusted #1 brand. It's good for gum, tree sap, glue, stickers, adhesive, tape, crayons, candle wax, and goo. Yes, goo. Jack says, not for use on unpainted drywall. Good thing it warned me about that one. Yeah, I don't think much of anything is good for use on unpainted drywall. I mean, I would have also probably not even thought to have tried this on painted drywall. But then again, I guess depending on what got stuck to the wall, I guess, yeah. Oh, congratulations, hardware hacker. Been a member for 7 months. Congratulations. All right, we will let that sit there for another moment or two. Jack says, I don't generally spray anything on my walls. Yes. Kevin says, I don't own an Apple II. I just have a 2E PDS card and an LC. Best use of an original LC, in my opinion. Yes, it is. That would probably be the best use for an original LC. Although, I guess if you were going to load an original LC up with KidPix and a few other kid-friendly programs and let your kids have at it, that would probably also be a good use for an LC. A lot of those programs didn't need more than 10 megabytes of memory, and it's not like you're going to need to set up internet to use those programs. So the fact that you can't run Open Transport is not a big deal. Dex says, I have my Apple II card in my Color Classic. Nice. Harder Hacker says, I have a couple 2E cards for the LC as well. Yeah, I have one that is probably in an LC2 right now. I don't think I have any. I've had a problem keeping LCs. Oh, no, I think maybe I do have it in an LC. I think I have one LC that the logic board is still cooperating. And Harder Hacker says, technically, 2 apples in 1. Yes. For some reason, I've had trouble keeping Mac LCs running. I think my 2E card is in an LC, although it may not have a good power supply in it. That might be the problem. I think the first LC that I repaired on the channel, I kind of think its egret chip might have been failing. Although I've used it for a parts donor board, I think, so it's not just a simple matter of getting the. I think someone was working on a microcontroller to be able to replace an egret. So unfortunately, that board, I don't think it's a simple matter of just replacing the egret, because I think I used it for some parts. I kind of accidentally butchered that logic board trying an ill-advised RAM upgrade attempt. Spoiler alert: the RAM upgrade attempt did not work. Jack says LC style power supplies are definitely sus. Yes. Thomas Armstrong said LC did not get the right apples. Yeah. All right. Hold on. I think I missed a chat message. Oh, Dave says no. I can't believe that, Justin. Yeah. I know it's hard to believe, but. And then I think the Garth had sent me an LC board that had what I called the egret of regrets, because the pin fell off the egret chip, and I successfully bodged a wire onto that pin of the egret chip. But that board too finally succumbed to some other fault that I don't know what's wrong with it, but yeah, that board. So that was another LC board that I have that finally failed, and it will not power on. I have a feeling, best case, maybe there was more damage inside the egret chip than that one pin. But maybe replacing the egret would fix the problem. It's like I don't, the board won't. The board does nothing if you try to power it up. It's kind of like maybe the. I mean, maybe the egret chip's dead. I don't think I've tried to steal any chips from that board. So maybe someday if I manage to figure out where the egret microcontroller replacement is, maybe we might try to fix that one. I think the only LC I have that's working right now. Now, note when I say LC in this context, I'm referring to the LC, not like any LC, but the LC. As far as I know, yeah, my LC2s and 3s are working. I don't have any problems with them. It's just the LC. I have trouble keeping them where they will remain running. All right, let's see if we can get this adhesive off. And I'm going to try Gugon first on this. Only because it smells nicer than WD-40. Although it makes a slightly bigger mess. But it smells nicer because it's orange. Do not consume. It's only orange scented. Yeah, Hardware Hacker says, I have 3 Mac LC1s. Mega says, Gugon comes right off with IPA. Yep. Hi, Mega. Welcome. Jack says, I have 0 LCs. Hardware Hacker says, I believe all of them work. As far as I know, I think I'd have to put a power supply in that one LC. The one that I got from the Herndon Hall, if anyone remembers that. That's the one that I have that still works. But I'd have to put another power supply in the LC. I think its power supply failed. I've given up on trying to keep those LC power supplies working when they fail. I'll recap them. I'll give them a chance, but if they then fail after a recap, then whatever, I'll rebuild them with a modern power supply or something. Jack says, I do have a Quadra 605. Yes, the LC 475's more sophisticated Quadra variant. I think the Quadra 605 might be the only example of when Apple put an LC computer in a fancier case. Well, that may be the Apple TV. Because I guess that was basically an LC computer as well. Well, or Performa. I guess maybe that was... Actually, no, wasn't the Apple TV also the LC 475 or LC 575 or something like that? Harder Hacker says, oh, that reminds me, I need to get my Apple TV working. Yeah, because the Quadra 605 is like an entirely different case from the rest of the LC computers. Apple gave it, instead of it being like a long, skinny foot, they gave it rounded feet, I guess, to make it look more like the other Quadra computers. So it basically looks like an LC 475, but with rounded feet on the front. And I think it had another embellishment kind of on the back or something like that. Kevin says, my LC3 completely lost its SCSI bus. It's all recapped. LC3 was the first Mac I ever used. Yeah, Dave says, yeah, I have one. They're very different. Yeah, it's like one of the, I think might be the only time Apple like gave an LC computer a different case for one of its variants in the market. I think I might have gotten that tape residue off the top of the case. Or at least I've got it off enough that it's not a problem. So Yeah, there we go. I think that's going to do it. Let the adhesives off of that. All right. Harder Hacker says, I think the analog board is dead. If I wanted to straight up replace the board, which models would work as a drop-in replacement? Chat, does anyone know? I don't know. I don't know which analog boards are also in common with the Apple TV. I would think that maybe the Performa 575 might be, but I don't know. Alan says, I want a 605 one day. I would like a 605 one day as well. I'm with you. But if I got a working LC 475, then well, I do have one working LC 475. It's the one from Japan. That'll do me for now. Now, why am I trying to get a second LC 475 working? It's because that one is the dealer upgrade one, and I would like to get the dealer upgrade one working again because it's in a. It fits that. I guess it fits that part where that some of the very early 475s were in auto inject cases. The yeah, yeah, the Macintosh TV. I think that is it. Yes, yeah, we're talking about the Macintosh TV. That's correct. I was trying to be careful to make it sound different than the other product, and I realized that Apple TV was the wrong two words to put together. I did mean Macintosh TV. Yes, the Apple TV is um, a different product line. Socket Wrench says, I still feel bad that my attempt to recap a Centrus failed. Yeah, I am not always successful in recapping things. I do have a couple. I don't always have recap successes, so I am with you. It's and I'll do also include that it like when it works when you first recap it and then stops working soon after for unknown reasons. Yeah, I kind of include that in failures. Depending on how soon after. All right, so I think on this side of the case, most of the packing tape came off cleanly. I don't know that it was necessarily stuck down that well. Oh, Sakura says, two pads completely destroyed and the trace they connect to so tiny. I don't think I'm doing a bodge wire. Ooh, yeah. Kevin says, I think the Mac TV was a 68030. I believe the LC 550 would be similar. Yeah, eBay is the place where I buy the things I later regret, and unless I'm buying from Jesse's eBay store. Yeah, Jesse's eBay store does not count for potential eBay regrets. and I guess if I'm buying from Memory Masters, that one has also been given um my reputable eBay seller seal of approval that I don't have to worry about am I getting what I'm buying or not. So those are my that's kind of my list of eBay stores that are not potential regrets, even if I do buy them things from them from eBay. Jesse's store and Memory Masters. I do reserve the right to add more in the future. There are a couple there are like one or two other stores that I'm like almost ready to also add to my list. One of which I think I had an early bad experience from, so I'm maybe if I have one more good experience from them, I'd be ready to let them go on my list. And then another one that, yeah, um, is pretty close to me realizing that, yep, when they say that it's this, it's this. So, um, I think the problem with this is, oh, Callan says, yeah, they're all the same. I used a 575 in my Mac TV. Text says, probably to the eBay link that's in the chat. It looks like it's either been exposed to high humidity or a battery bombed machine. Jason says this case is cleaning up pretty good. Yeah, it is. Oh, let's look at this eBay link here for an analog board. Yeah, I'm kind of something does seem to be up with that analog board. Is it maybe just really dusty? The one thing that's kind of bothering me about this analog board auction is they're not showing the underside of the analog board. So they do show the backside of the neck board. But not the underside of the analog board. That does it all right. My opinion on that auction hardware hacker is that if I were going to buy that item, I would be messaging the seller and I would ask them for a picture of the backside of the analog board. And what I'm going to look for is evidence that the capacitors have leaked and that there's broken traces. Or maybe some explanation, or maybe something to kind of explain why the thing looks so dusty or corroded. Alan says he's got some spares if you need one. So, but yeah, that would be the one thing if I were interested in buying that, that is I would be I'd ask the seller for that picture because I guess I'm going to want to know what I might be getting into, and I didn't look at the price. Oh, okay. The price on that analog board kind of seems reasonable to me, but yeah, I'd be asking for a picture of the. It always bugs me when eBay sellers leave out um, angles of items. Jack says to Hardware Hacker, unless your board is damaged, I'd just recap it They all need it. There are a few super leaky caps on those that cause major issues. All right. I think one thing I'm probably going to have to do to this plastic case is I'm probably actually going to have to wash it in soap and water to get the Goo Gone and WD-40 residue off. But the nice thing is, I don't think there's any real marks left on it. There's like a spot here that kind of looks like it might be where something rusty set on the case, but it's not that big. And actually, it looks like it might be coming off with a little elbow grease. You know, maybe I should try some IPA on that. Whatever that is. All right, let's see. No, whatever that is not coming off. All right. Okay, then it kind of looks like maybe. Oh, there's actually a similar spot on the other side of the case. Kevin says use extreme care when taking the case apart. Spindler plastic is really brittle. Yes. You know, interestingly enough, there's like a little yellow spot here, but there's one like pretty much on the same spot on the other side here. I'm wondering if maybe there was a monitor or something setting on top of this that had some screws that like maybe slightly rusted. Whatever it is, it's not coming off the plastic. I think it's a stain. But the interesting thing is it's like pretty much on the same spot on both sides, which is really weird. That is like the really weird part of it. But they're not quite the same. They're not symmetrical, but they're on the same spot on each side. Yeah, it's really weird. Like there and there. Yeah, the one on this side is a bit bigger than this one, but it's like that is really weird. Which kind of has me wondering if it was something setting on top of this, like maybe a monitor or a monitor stand or something that had screws on the bottom. Dave says WD-40 might do it. All right. Let me see if I can't get some WD-40 on a Q-tip. I guess it's also possible that could be sticker adhesive of some sort. That is not coming off. All right, whatever that is not coming off with WD-40. What does it look like under the microscope? Interesting. Yeah, let's look at it. I mean, it looks like a little. Dry off the WD-40. Um, yeah, that is a good question. All right, so I think that's the textured plastic. It hold on. Oh, there it is. It turn down the brightness a little, maybe. See if we can. Kind of looks like it's discolored. All right, so there's the texture. All right, let me see if I can get to. All right, that's the one on the right side of the case. It. Well, I don't want to ruin the texture. I would actually probably rather just leave the little spot there than try to use a magic eraser on it. It's really not. Well, the one on the left side is a little more bothersome. Yeah, it looks like whatever it is, it's down in the texture, but I can't really tell what it is. Kind of almost afraid to try to use a magic eraser. I'm afraid I'll. Yeah, Jack says it looks like it's in the texture, but still on the surface. Thomas is asking, could it be the form lubricant when they made it? Dave says you might just try letting that WD-40 sit on it overnight to see if it makes any difference. All right, now that is something I could be convinced to try. Yeah, maybe I will try letting some WD-40 sitting on it overnight. That I'd be willing to try. Because honestly, I would rather have a yellow discolored spot than a shiny spot. Because depending on what kind of monitor you have setting on top of it, it would be really easy to kind of scooch the monitor forward to make it harder to see that yellow spot. But yeah, I'll try letting some WD-40 sit on it. Castrol Super Clean works wonders on those texture stains, says Callan. Might have to try that too. But anyways, yeah. Other than that, the case top looks fairly clean. I guess I will put this somewhere where I can let some WD-40 sit on those spots. Socket Wrench says, no brain. Bleach is a bad suggestion. This isn't your bathroom. Yeah, we don't want bleach on this. That would be bad. All right, other than our little two pesky weird dots on the case, and there's like a little itty bitty stain here that, quite honestly, I think it's more on the edge of the plastic, so I actually might be willing to try a magic eraser there, because the edge is actually shiny. There's no texture on this edge. I mean, there's like the tiniest spot on the outside. I'm actually tempted to let that slide and not risk a shiny spot to get rid of the tiniest of stains there. It honestly looks pretty clean, and I think I'm going to stop trying to clean it here. I will let some WD-40 sit on it overnight. And then I want to actually wash it with soap and water to just kind of get all the chemicals off. But the top looks good. We got the residue off. So yeah, I want to get soap and water on that to basically just to degrease it where I had goof off on it so that a sticker would stick here. But yeah, I think this looks pretty good. So, yep, Blue Dawn dishwashing soap works the best. Yes. Also happens to be what I think I have the Food Line generic equivalent, but it works pretty decent. But yeah, there we go. The packing tape's off. The stickers are off. Ready to kind of clean it and then put computer back together. In fact, I haven't scheduled Thursday's live stream, so we'll probably, I think Thursday we may continue on computer. Because I'm actually thinking we're kind of at a good stopping point, and other than it would be good to know that computer still works. But yeah, it looks pretty good. And actually, as you can probably tell by the area under where the sticker was, the case is really not that yellowed. So I'm going to call this. I'm not going to try to do anything to it. It looks. It's what I'm going to call good enough. Yeah. So yeah, I was about tempted to go grab the rest of computer so we can at least see what it does. Because if we do put computer back together Thursday, yeah, ABS is tough, yes. Then I would at least like to know that the electronics are working. So let me go set this somewhere where I will let the WD-40 soak on it upstairs. Because I'll go wash this in the kitchen sink. I think the one sink bowl in my sink is big enough to actually set this in it. My kitchen sink is one of those where the one bowl is much larger than the other. And I think the one bowl is big enough to set this in it. But I'll let it soak upstairs. let me set this where I'll remember to take it upstairs. So I can wash it. I'll set it on the compact smart station. And let's grab. Oh, great. And now for the rest of the computer. All right. So if anyone's wondering where we've been with this computer, there's all the bad chips that I've replaced in computer alone. I counted these at one point. I think there's like 40 some chips in here, if I remember the count correctly. Yes, including one of the original ROM chips. One of the legs just fell right off of it. So I think I recapped this in a video, or I filmed the recapping of this, but I haven't released any videos on it yet, so don't worry, you haven't missed anything. But I did buy an Apple II power supply that looked like the original one, but it's a much better constructed one, so I've recapped it. So when I put computer back together, it will look pretty much stock from the outside. No. There were bad RAM chips, but there were also bad 74 LS chips. It is a mix of types of chips. Oh, there's my 5 1/4 inch floppy drive cleaning kit. Thanks to Sorcerer Stan sent me a ROM chip of the same type. So I still have factory-looking ROMs in this. So thank you, Sorcerer Stan, for that ROM chip. So, because I wouldn't otherwise have, I would have had to have used some standard ROM chip. So that is good. Because I think these ROM chips require a programmer that I don't have. Oh, actually, I have the code for all the ROMs. I actually was able to dump the ROM that had the bad leg by temporarily soldering a pin to the the metal in the ROM chip, and I was able to dump it. And surprise, surprise, the ROM matched Apple II Plus, the Apple II Plus ROM in the same location. Shocker, right? I mean, who would have thought that this Apple personal computer would have even dared to infringe on Apple's copyrights? The only difference is that the startup banner says computer, not something else. But anyways, all right. So let's see what computer does. Oh, I should probably change the input on my scaler if I can reach the button. I got a pile of cables in front of the button. Let's see here. Hold, please. I try to press. There we go. I think we're on the right component input now. All right. Jack says, or Sad Max says, I would have been more surprised if it didn't match. Jack says, seriously. All right. So, smoke test in 3, 2, 1. And whoa! Ah! Yeah, that was a smoke test. Woo! All right. That was not good. Yeah, let's see. What did we have go wrong? Well, I guess we're going to have to figure out what went wrong with this power supply, for starters. Socket Wrench says, Justin guest stars on the Big Bad Bench. No, it was not a reefa. This power supply has no reefas in it. All right, well, we'll open that up in a moment. I do know that it was not... We were not shorting metal. Hopefully not. All right. I guess I'm going to have to go grab another power supply. Sad Max says, for those new to electronics, that's what we call a failed smoke test. Thomas says, motherboard shorting on something. No, the motherboard is not, should not be shorting on something. The motherboard has all the standoffs installed, so it should not be shorting on anything. Yep, Jason says it was delayed, so it was probably a power supply cap giving up. Yeah, it was in the... Yeah, let's see what smoked, and then we'll come back to this, because I want to go find another power supply. I'll have to probably swipe one from it. Apple II or something. Worst comes to worst, we'll be repairing computer again on Thursday instead of putting it in its case. Thomas says, smoke is normal for me. Well, smoke is not normal for me. Smoke is bad. Smoke is very bad. Hopefully it's something I have in stock. Yeah, well, if this power supply... Well, I might have ordered spare caps. What's the story with this black power supply? Okay, so computer originally came with a black power supply. I did not trust it because something caused lots of logic chips in computer to fail, and I thought it was the original power supply. So I was originally going to take an Apple power supply and make it look like it belonged in computer. But then I found this power supply on eBay, the place where I buy the things I later regret, and it kind of looked like Computer's original power supply, but a different, better construction. So I bought it, and yeah, that's pretty much the story. And I recapped it. I tested it. It tested fine, and then it's sat in my basement for 10 months for me to get back around to April apples, and it decided to betray me. And you shouldn't open power supplies because dangerous voltages can lurk inside. This is for entertainment purposes only. Something went pop, and it went pop back in this area, the power supply, and we'll figure out what went pop. Well, yeah, the pinout's the same. The pinout is the same. I mean, it's a Apple II power supply. Pinout's the same. Now, here's the interesting thing. At first glance, I don't see... Oh, there we go. I see the first problem. I'll give folks a, yeah, this is for your entertainment only. I'm not responsible for lost weight or misdirected electrons if you try this. But all right, let's see if anyone notices the problem child. I'll give folks a moment to carefully study. I'm trying to kind of change the angle so you can get a chance to observe reflections on top of all the caps, because that might be a clue. Oh, we got one guess here from Jason of C21. Yeah, Mega says 1B bulgy. Yep. That would be about where I saw the smoke come out. Saka Wrench says that cap released all its Kiki and now it's Boba. Yeah. Yeah, C21 does look like it's bulging. Actually, I'm noticing something else here. Let me zoom in a little bit more. Interestingly enough, and I don't know if this has any bearing or not, but that looked like it was liquid on top of that. Now, it might have come from this cap here, which is probably the one that vented. But yeah, that looked like that had something. You know, yeah, I replaced them all. I did replace all the caps. All right, so before I actually go to try to figure out what happened, I'm looking to see if I put any in backwards, because these are electrolytic, so the stripe on the board is negative. And the one that went pop, it is incorrect, because I can see the stripe on the PCB. So it looks like All the stripes are matching the caps. I know I recapped them all because there's the Worth caps, which were not available when this power supply was new. There's that one. I even replaced those. Nice Rubicons. So it. Did I pop? You know, I bet I blew the fuse. It does kind of look like the fuse is blown. Mega says, I wonder if the silk screen is incorrect. Oh, that is possible. All right, let's take this PCB the rest of the way out so I can actually look. Probably what I'm going to have to do is go find the footage of when I recap this and check the polarity of the original cap. So let me go pull this up on my NAS. I recap this. There we go. July 26th of last year. So let me go pull the footage up real quick. And basically I just want to look at the footage of the original cap. Just to make sure that all right, so let's see here. It looks like I might have been up. Okay, that is. I think I was working during Dave's stream. That is not this power supply. Oh, maybe I wasn't. Actually, I remember. I was was watching streaming video. So yeah, I'm definitely going to that is not this power supply either. I'm assembling. All right, so I've got the power supply footage up. Let me. Hey, Callan says, won't be the first time bad silk screen has gotten me before. Oh, yeah, we could probably figure it out from the bottom. Sure. All right, so here's what the power supply looked like before I recapped it. And we had. So I think here's C21 right here. So let's see here. Oh, I'm recapping them. Oh, there we go. So, all right, so there's the video. I can see the polarity stripe on that original cap. I'm fairly sure that's the original cap, although I don't see the yellow stripe on it. Let me rewind. Oh, that was the replacement cap. All right. All right. I'm scrolling back to try to see where the original cap was, because I'd like to understand the mistake, and then we'll All right, so there's the original cap. Oh. And I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, it does look like the... I kind of think maybe the mark on the board might be backwards, because... Or maybe I just can't see the stripe, one or the other. But I don't see a polarity stripe on that side of the cap. Of course, I don't... do I bet chance... okay, so I haven't removed it yet. I thought it worked after I tested it. I sure thought I tested it. Alright, so I think that's where I'm removing C21 right there. And it does kind of look like... Oh, and sometimes I'll show the cap once it falls out. And obviously... Wow. Well, I did a really poor job of, like, showing that cap. Cap's on the negative going backwards. Oh, no, there's where I'm removing C21. And let's see, I think it... Did it fall out? Oh, that's annoying. Alright, so that's of no help. Unfortunately, I didn't see the stripe. Well, let's see if we can figure out what voltage rail that's on. Alright, so... The voltage rails are negative 12 volts, negative 5 volts, ground, ground, 5 volts, 12 volts. So if we flip this board around, this is going to be negative 12 volts and negative 5 volts. All right. I'm working towards it. I'm trying to be methodical because I don't want to get this mixed up again. And I'm pretty sure I tested this, so I'm not sure why I didn't pop the capacitor earlier. All right, so that's the negative. So that pin there is the negative 12 volt output. And this is going to be ground. Yes. So the ground pin is going to be that pin there. So that's negative 12 volts on the positive side. Ground goes to negative, not ground. Oh, I hate negative voltage rails. But I think the silk screen's backwards on these two caps. I don't remember what I did, Thomas. It was last year. The cap ground should face the negative voltage. The cap ground is not facing the negative voltage. The silk screen's backwards. The silk screen is wrong. Hey, don't shoot the messenger. So which caps are affected? Probably those two. I guess I'm gonna have to check though, because I mean I'll have to check. I mean, I try my best to remember what direction caps are in the board, but as you can probably see from the video footage, it's not like the polarity mark was that clear looking from the top of the cap, so two nearby that are the same. Wait. This one's on plus 12 volts and plus. Please don't tell me that all of these caps are backwards. Okay, so this is, I think, plus 12 volts. Hold on. That's plus 12 volts, and that's plus 5 volts. And these two are ground. Yep, okay, so that's ground, ground, not ground. Well, that one's weird. Let me make sure I have the right pins. So these two are caps. This should be a cap here, so okay, I'm pretty sure that's correct because that was this cap here. So that's the negative pin. The negative pin for that cap here. It's connected to ground. And this should be going to. It's not. Oh, that's the wrong voltage rail. That's the wrong voltage rail. Oh. Oh, yeah, that's fine. that's positive, and then this should be positive. Yep, and this should be tied to. That's weird. I'm pretty sure that's a cap. Yeah, and that cap is. So this one cap here, this is weird. This is 5 volts, and this is 12 volts. I should have probably taken pictures of it, but unfortunately, I think this project did what a lot of projects did. It sat, and then I just got tired of looking at caps I'd ordered not get installed, and then I just did it. But yeah, these two caps are in backwards. All right, so that one's C 20. Here's C21. So C21 is definitely bulging. C20, I think might have also vented. So I think, yeah, I think C20 vented as well, or either that or that's just glue that. All right, let's test both. I think they were both in backwards, and I have a feeling. Um, so this one was C20. So I guess C20 is actually fine. Although it honestly looks like something is coming out of it. So I think it might have actually vented or started the vent. So I'm gonna replace that one. So here's C21. It's obviously bulging. Interestingly enough, it tests. Oh, Thomas Armstrong says 0.07 ohms is bad. Well, this one's 0.33 ohms. It's bulging. I think they're both bad. So 220 microfarad, 25 volts. Thomas Armstrong says put an ohm meter over it. Well, what's the ohm meter going to tell me that my fancy cap meter didn't? Other than I need to put a new battery in it. Mm, well, my own My multimeter is telling me this cap's open. Well, my multimeter's not reading anything. Well, I don't know why the white circle would be the mark, considering there's a stripe. Every cap has a stripe on it, so why would you put two marks on one cap location? I don't know. I mean, I've seen that type of marking, but usually they do one or the other, not both. I don't know if I have any more caps of that size. I'm highly disappointed that unknown power supply manufacturer couldn't be bothered to mark their silkscreen correct. Unknown power supply manufacturer. How are people going to keep your power supplies running in the future if you don't mark them right? Okay, let me see if by chance I have two more of those caps. No, I am not removing any more caps. Um, because I don't need to. Because if you'll note on the video, it looks like this cap here also has a white circle under it. In fact, I think they all do. Let's see here. Where, even under these power caps, let's see, do I have it on video where those were removed? Oh yeah, looky there. They're all marked like that. Sorry, I get in trouble when I remove things on whims. That's one way I get in trouble. So since I have it on video, we're just going to go to the instant replay option. And yeah, all the caps are marked that way with a white circle and a stripe. And how many of those caps did I order? Apparently I can't. I know, that is weird. All right, whoops. I ordered 3 of them. Great. Yeah, I ordered 3 of them. And how much you want to bet that the third one's also on the board? Actually, that would be a bad bet because it's C18. So I ordered 3 and used 3, and yeah, so I'll have to order caps for it. So I guess what I'll do, since I'm going to have to order more caps, because I'm pretty sure I don't have anything appropriate for that. Is what I am. There, I've drawn an X over the stripe. There, I've drawn a replacement stripe where the negative actually needs to go. because that's the lower voltage potential right there. That's, yeah, there we go. And I guess I can try to write very carefully on this PCB on the back. Silk screen. There we go. So when I do get the caps, at least I'll remember the silk screen's wrong. But hopefully the marking on the top will remind me. Yeah, that was a fun discovery. Full send on a power supply that I thought was working, and I'm fairly sure I checked it. Although it's quite possible I no-load checked it. And if I did no-load check it, that might explain why I didn't pop caps when I checked voltages. The load of my multimeter might have not been enough of a load to have bothered it, but... Alright, so let's see if I pop the fuse. Oh, the fuse is good. Okay. So, 220 microfarad, 25 volt. Okay. Let me see if I've got anything close. So I'll go to be right back. Let me see if I have anything close to 220 microfarad, 25 volt. Maybe I've got some 35 volt. Maybe I might have like maybe a 270. It is the main filter cap for the voltage rail, so I could probably get away with going up slightly, possibly. Yeah, let me see what I got in terms of caps. Maybe I've got two 220s. Maybe I got a 35 volt. Let me see what I got. I'll be going to be right back while I go rummage through capacitor boxes. And welcome, Mr. Tech Gadget. Thomas Armstrong says a 180 to 300. Let's see what I got so we can maybe test this computer tonight. So I'll be right back. Yes, that is elevator music. I think it's also a bossa nova, if I'm remembering the style of music correctly. I did find some 220 microfarad 25-volt Nichicons that are slightly larger in diameter. They're a little taller, but they should be well within the dimensions needed for the board. They are also 105 degrees C rated, so should be good. I ordered 4 to recap a PC power supply and only used 1. All right, so as we discovered before we called the elevator, the polarity stripe on this board is wrong for these 2 caps. Therefore, when I recap the board, partly because I'm not sure I really got a good look at the polarity stripe when I removed them. I don't know that the caps that I removed here had a great polarity stripe on them. Unfortunately, I recapped this long enough ago that I don't have the caps anymore. Well, I might hold on to chips that I remove from projects for a dead chip bin. I don't keep capacitors. And I guess that's maybe more so that capacitors are still made, but I guess if I ever realized that I'd removed chips from something and my testing methods were wrong and I'd misidentified the problem, I could always go back to my dead chip bin and retest anything that I thought was bad that I might have incorrectly tested, but pretty much cap. I'm not as worried that I'd do that to caps, and plus, caps are still made. I'm sure if I removed some like weird caps from something, and I was afraid there was a chance that I'd realize I'd tested things wrong, I might hold on to them. But electrolytic caps. All right, lead spacing on these caps is such that I'm having trouble getting them in the board. Maybe I should have probably put that one in first. Now put this one in. There we go. we go. We got 2 new caps in. Eh, There we go. 2 new caps. All right. I think I was able to tell that the other ones were correct. So I think it was just those 2 I got backwards because they're on the negative voltage rails and the silk screen was incorrect. Maybe the engineers that designed this then got hired on to Apple to develop the Apple LC the Macintosh LC3. The LC3 has a cap on the negative voltage rail that is also incorrect on the silk screen and actually installed backwards from Apple. So there we go. Oh, and I don't remember the name of the song that's my hold music, but it's not the one that someone was asking about. I don't know if they were asking about my song or some other song. And unfortunately, my note on the bottom of the board is going to get erased, but I'll rewrite the note, but I wanted to clean up the flux. Or actually, what I'll do is I'll put a label on the outside of the power supply or something. C20 and C21 are backwards. All right, so now that I've recapped the power supply, I guess let's go ahead and put the cover back on. Because I think the only way to know if I fixed it is to smoke test it again. I think basically the way this case works is yep, I think that's how it works. I'm gonna put the cover back on just in case it there's something else wrong with it, so that the metal cover contains the fault. Except that screw is. Oh, that screw's not going to hold it together. I need to get some new screws to hold the power supply together. Mhm. There we go. That was it. All right. Yes. I work on power supplies for entertainment purposes only, but I'm at least going to still show that I'm going to put the cover back on so that if there were to be a fault, it would be contained within the metal cover. I realize that's not always the most entertaining, but sometimes entertainers do have to also show restraints. Just like the circus trapeze artists that still have a safety net below them. They've practiced and practiced and practiced, but that's still not to say that the lion won't get out, cause a disruption, and cause one of them to lose their grip. So we want to see them fall in the net. Yeah, Ipanema Daydream, that's it. It's on the YouTube Music Library. So there we go. Power supplies back together. I think the best way to test it is to test it. Because I'm pretty sure it needs a load to work. So there we go. Composite video. Power switch is turned off. Let's see here. Power. All right, I will zoom out. I will try to move this over as far as I can. Oh, that is. All right, well, actually, maybe I should test this using my safe smart switch to turn it on. All right, smoke test. Hopefully not actual this time. In 3, 2, 1. It beeped. It didn't make any funny popping noises. Um, we have no video. Oh, um, oh, I may not have that plugged in. Hold, please. Let me make sure the video cable's plugged in. Oh yeah, that was not. Composite cable was not plugged in. All right, hold please while I find the other end of it. All right. Hey, looky there. We have computer. Now, I'm fairly sure, despite the fact the video looks awful in the scaler, that is about what an Apple II computer is going to look like on a digital scaler. So, yeah. So, it still works. So, I think if we do 10 print, let's see here. I didn't um oh, hold on, can't spell. I didn't oh let too much smoke out. 20, go to 10, run. Oh, Retro Tech Chris is has something to show me while I have some fun with basic here. All right, we can stop that. Oh wow. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, it's sketchy RF. It's nothing to be worried about. All right, so computer electrically works. The power supply works. After a slight non-working period because the silkscreen was wrong and I didn't catch it while recapping it the first time last year. So there we go. So that means Thursday, assuming I actually, in the next 2 days, which is not too big, shouldn't be too big of an ask, I wash the plastic case with soap and water, then we will put computer back together and I will dig out the expansion cards for computer and we will put computer back together in the case, start putting the expansion cards back in. I do know that I have a Saturn clone card that was in computer. I've got a Z80 card that was in computer. I got a disc controller card for computer somewhere that was not in computer, because that was one thing that was missing. And I've got an 80 column card for computer that I had to buy so that we could use the Z80 card, because I guess whoever sold computer had removed the 80 column card from computer. But hopefully we'll be able to put computer back together with the 80 column card, the Z80 card, the Saturn card, and computer will be able to run CPM or Applesoft. So this is kind of where I'm going to draw the stream to a close, because at this point I kind of need to wash things. Yeah, Kevin says glad it works. Yeah. And Retro Tech Chris, I say I can tell you what I spy, and I'll let you know what I spy right off the bat. I'll send you a text message of what you might might want to look out for. Assuming they don't just bring it to the swap meet in a couple weeks. Anyways, all right. So I think that is a good stopping point, so I can wash plastic parts. Yeah, I mean, I had computer working. It's just a matter of kind of getting it back together. Yeah, computer works. Looks like all the chips in computer have stayed working. The power supply that I got for it works. So yeah. So in the meantime, I'm gonna wash the plastic parts to get all the goo gone and the WD-40 and whatnot off of them. And then we'll put computer back together and start putting cards in. So this will be a good place to stop for tonight. I know there haven't been many April Apples videos, and quite honestly, I think I've noticed a trend, a downward trend of the popularity of computer months on YouTube. So I I don't know if there will be an April Apples next year with the huge huge number of videos that have been made, but hey, at least maybe we can close out the story of computer for what might be the final April Apples for a while until computer month names take off again. Sloopy says, "Sorry, I'm a bit late. Can you restart?" Sorry, Sloopy. I've already let the magic smoke out. I can't put it back in to restart. Um, Scientists have been trying for eons to put the magic smoke back in, but unfortunately, as all computer scientists and computer engineers know, that once you let the magic smoke out, you cannot put it back in again. And once you've let the magic smoke out, the magic smoke is how it works. Once you let it out, you can't put it back in, so it doesn't work. So, yeah, we'll see you later, Kevin. Anyways, yeah, I think that's a good stopping point. We got to the point where I need to wash plastic parts in soap and water. And yeah, the magic disappears once the smoke is let out. Yes. So let's see here. Anything else? Oh, yes. So Thursday stream will be at 9. And then for the month of May and possibly on for more months, I will be back to a Monday and Thursday streaming schedule. Because now I think starting next month, I'll have Tuesday meetings like 3 of the 4 Tuesdays. And I'd like to have a... It's not that I couldn't stream on Tuesdays. It is possible if I have something compelling enough, I may have some random extra streams or move a Monday stream to a Tuesday if need be. But the thing is, I like to have a long stream night on one of the nights of the week. And with those meetings on Tuesdays, I'd have to start at 9, which is not a long stream night. So that's kind of why I'm thinking to go back to Monday, because I can start at 8 on Monday and still have a night where I can stream for 4 hours. And then Thursday, because I've pretty much settled a Thursday is a good night to stream. But I can only stream for 3 hours on Thursdays, so... Hardware Hacker says, I may be streaming a video game made by an anime studio, for anime. In May. Yes. So, yeah. Next month, Monday and Thursday streams is what it's looking like. It's going to be... I may throw in an occasional Tuesday stream, because Tuesdays are fun nights to do streams, but 3 streams a week burns you out quick, so that will probably be the exception, or will probably be me if something comes up on Monday and I need to move to Tuesday. I'll settle for a 3-hour stream on Tuesday and Thursday. But Sloopy says, you look like this guy I saw in New Jersey last week. Yeah, I know. I get that a lot, that I look like I'm that guy in New Jersey. But I'm clearly not in New Jersey right now. So anyways, let's see here. I think that's a good point. So like, subscribe, do all the YouTube things, algorithm, blah blah blah. I know you all know how it works. And Thursday at 9 p.m. we'll finish off April Apples with getting computer back together. And yeah, and then for May, I've got many exciting things that may or may not involve K-Pros, but no, I'm not going to do, no, I'm not going to do Maypro. I think Maypro kind of fell off the bandwagon even last year, so there may be a coincidental K-Pro stream in May, but that's just going to be a complete coincidence. But no, I'm probably going to get back to the LC 475s because I would like to get one of them working. So yeah, probably the LC 475 or possibly the IBM 5150. I'd kind of like to get back to one of the two. What's to say I can't do both in May? There's plenty of weeks in May. Except for I do have a week where I will be on vacation in May, so you can stay tuned for that schedule. And with that, let's see here. I think, yep, I hope you all have a great rest of your day. Let me make sure yep, there we go. And with that, I hope to see you here next time. Take care, and God bless. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon. And by your... Except, of course, I see that right when I'm clicking a button that Hardware Hacker sent a trophy cake for 1,000 joules. Oh, thank you, Hardware Hacker. Luckily, when I start playing a video, I can come back to me cam. It's not going to, like, end the stream unceremoniously. So thank you, Hardware Hacker. I think you are the first person to send me joules. So thank you. Awesome. All right, and with that, now I can go back and press the magic button. Computerized Start is brought to you by my awesome patrons on Patreon. And by your tips and memberships on Ko-fi. These and other channel supporters make my live streams possible. You too can become a channel supporter with tiers starting at just $1. Don't forget to smash that like button. And if you've liked what you've seen, subscribe and turn on notifications so that you don't miss the next video or live stream. And as always, thank you for all your support. I hope to see you next time. And until then, take care. And yes, I came back to thank you, Hardware Hacker, for the coffee tip. And now, it's over now.